Oh, live?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, my name's Ernesto, and today I'm going to be demonstrating 4 different exercises with my theraband here. I'm going to be doing crack the walnut, chariot, bow and arrow, and then lastly I'm going to be doing biceps. So for crack the walnut, the purpose of this is to increase back core strength. I'm going to be using my rhomboid major and minor muscles. And the breath pattern is pretty simple. It's exhaling while pulling back and inhaling while releasing forward. And some pointers for this exercise, one is to try to keep your shoulders down. So when I'm doing this, I'm going to try not to go like this, doing a shoulder shrug. And the other thing is to make sure I'm depressing my scapula here, okay? So I'm going to inhale, start with inhale, squeezing. I can feel that in my back pretty well here. Inhale, and I'm going to exhale and squeeze. And I'm actually going to reach forward just a little bit more to get some more resistance because I like the way this feels. Okay, that's actually a great contraction of the back muscles, and it's something I would recommend other people do as well. So the next exercise is called the chariot. So I'm just going to simply take my theraband here, place it in front of me, like so. Okay, the chariot is going to basically work out my triceps, the different heads of my triceps, all three, and I'm going to do that by manipulating the rotation of my wrists. That's how I'm going to get the desired effect of working out all three of the heads of my triceps. And so the purpose of this is to increase shoulder stability, and I'm going to basically simply exhale while pulling back. So I'm going to inhale, exhale. You can really very easily feel this right in your triceps. Inhale, exhale. And if I reach down further, I can get more resistance from the band. Inhale, exhale. And now I'm going to rotate my palms so they're facing back. I'm going to inhale and exhale. And I just get just a slight variation in where my triceps being exercised, and I can feel that slight difference as well. It's pretty cool. So I'm going to inhale, exhale. One more time, inhale, and then exhale. I'm not going to do the final variation because I have an injured arm right now. I strained my left antebrachial arm, so I'm going to move on to the next exercise. However, that final variation is with the palms forward, and supinating also hurts, so I'm not going to do that. And so this one is called the bow and arrow. And I actually chose this exercise because in jiu-jitsu there's a choke called the bow and arrow choke. And without going into detail, it was one of my favorite chokes to do in jiu-jitsu when I trained a lot. So I watched your instructional on your bow and arrow variation. I enjoyed it. And so the purpose of this exercise is to increase back and core strength. And I'm going to be employing my rhomboid major and minor muscles as well as my oblique abdominals. And basically I'm going to exhale while twisting and pulling, like I'm pulling the strings of a bow and arrow. And then inhale as I'm basically drawing my bow or bringing my bow back or releasing my bow, if you will. So I'm going to inhale, or rather I'm going to exhale, inhale, exhale. I'm going to try not to lift my shoulder up again. I did that on my first attempt. Inhale, and then I'm going to exhale. And again, you just get a great contraction there. And I can imagine with the theraband with more resistance, that would be a very challenging exercise after about 8 to 10 repetitions. Okay, and so for my last demonstration, I'm going to be doing some biceps. So for this, I'm going to stand, And since I am doing biceps, obviously the muscles I'm working out are my biceps, the two different heads of my biceps. And this exercise is relatively simple for people who have any weightlifting experience. I'm simply going to put one hand on my hip, feet shoulder length apart, and I'm just going to supinate my wrists as so, and then curl while keeping my humerus stable. And I don't want to bring my arm out or in, do any of these. Just want to go like this. Exhale for the curl. Inhale while we extend. Exhale for the flexion. You can do it from the side if you want to see my big old bicep here, yeah. Okay. And then I'm going to do it with this arm, and I'm going to try to be gentle. I think I'll be okay. I'm going to basically grab it at the tippy top. I know I'm supposed to grab it at the lowest point, but this is going to obviously decrease the resistance, make this easier. For this side, I think I'll demonstrate the hammer curl variation where the thumbs are facing forward, like we're flipping a coin here. Do my analogy for this exercise. I'm going to inhale and then exhale. And now that I'm actually doing this, I'm kind of realizing this is probably a good way to rehab my arm, because I don't want to go back and lift weights anytime soon. I was going to take a month off, but doing this is making me realize perhaps this is a good strategy to develop some strength in my arm again before I go back to curling 30-pound weights. And then inhale, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And you can really feel that, like the rest of these exercises here. And so, I believe that's all. Oh, and one last note about that exercise. You want to try to maintain your core strength, hold your core, and squeeze your pelvic floor. That way you're really isolating your arm and getting the most out of this exercise. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope you have a great winter break.